In this video, I'm going to explain the Mann-Whitney U-test problem for unequal sample sizes. In my earlier video, I have explained about equal sample sizes, and I have also explained introductory video on Mann-Whitney U-test, where I have covered assumptions of Mann-Whitney U-test and necessary steps to follow while we are solving Mann-Whitney U-test. So before going to solve a problem on Mann-Whitney U-test for unequal type of problem, let us look into the steps we used to follow in U-test. So first of all, we have to combine all observation of two samples. We have two population samples here. Both population samples also we have to combine. After that, give a combined rank from smallest to largest. After that, select a small n in case of unequal sample size problem. In case of equal sample size problem, whatever the sample you can select for test statistics. After that, obtain critical value and take a decision by comparing critical value with the tested value. These are the necessary steps we need to follow. So after that, this is important. If you are when testing a statistics, you need to follow this formula for if n1 is small, which means sample 1 is small, and if n2 is small, you need to follow this formula. So here I will consider a problem for unequal kind of sample size. So here we have a decision, how to derive the decision that I have explained very deeply in my introductory video. You can go through that. Now let us consider a problem. So here we have our data relating to the birthday gift by students who are employed and unemployed. So employed students details is here, unemployed students details also is here. Now we have to examine that median amount to be spent on birthday gift by students who are employed is lower than for students who are employed by a Mann-Whitney U-test at 1% level of significance. So here they have directly asked you to solve a Mann-Whitney U-test. So otherwise we have to think which kind of statistics we have to apply for this. Since both data are independent, we can go for t-test. So for this kind of data, two sample t-test. So but here the data relating to the gift is something like ordinal. So ordinal data can't be considered in a t-test. And one more thing, data is normally distributed. We don't know the population, which means population is unknown. So in this case, which is a very suitable, that is Mann-Whitney U-test is very suitable. So at 1% level of significance, we have to test this. So let us formulate a hypothesis for this this problem. So our hypothesis as given in the problem, mu1 and mu2 denote the average or median amount to be spent on birthday gift by students who are employed. For unemployed students, we are denoting by mu1. For employed students, we are denoting by a mu2 respectively. So our claim is mu1 is lesser than mu2 because they have asked us to examine that the median amount to be spent on birthday gift by students who are employed is lower than students who are unemployed, which means mu1 is unemployed is lower than the students who are employed. Mu2 is employed. So here mu1 lesser than mu2 is a right claim. So since our claim is mu1 is lesser than mu2, so our complement would be mu1 greater than or equal to mu2. And here in the complement contains equality sign. So we will take complement as null hypothesis and remainder as alternative hypothesis. So our null hypothesis is mu1 greater than or equal to mu2. Alternative hypothesis is mu1 lesser than or lesser than mu2. So our claim is alternative hypothesis. So here, which means a median amount to be spent by students who are employed is lower than the students who are unemployed. Since the alternative hypothesis is left tiled, so here lower tiled, because here we have lesser than type of symbol, so it is a left tiled. So our test is one tired and left. So now let us solve this problem by step. So firstly, we have to combine all our observation. So this is a given problem that employed details, employed students gift details and unemployed student gift details. So firstly, what we have to do, combine the observation. In combining observation, we have to order this in ascending order, that is smallest level to largest level we have to order. Now then let us consider in unemployed category. So smallest value is 150. So I have listed here 150. Next smallest value is 200. So here I have entered 200. Next smallest value is 250 and I have mentioned here 250, and next smallest value is 275. Here 275, and next smallest value is 350. I have listed here 350, and last smallest value is 500. So 500 I have listed here. Now coming to employed students category. So in the employed student category, lowest value is 200. First 200 I have entered here. After that 450 is next highest. 450 is entered here. After that 500 is next highest. 500 entered here. So we have two 500s here. 500 I have entered 500, and next highest value is 550. I have entered 550 also. So next lowest is 600. 600 is also entered here, and next next highest is 700. 700, and next highest is 1000. We have two observation for 1000. So two observation. So all the given observations are combined and ordered in ascending order. So that is smallest to largest. So here we have to observe one thing. So employed students 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are 6 observation from employed students, whereas there are 9 observation from unemployed category. So which means this is unequal sample size. Unequal sample size in the Mann-Whitney U-test. So after ordering in ascending order, we'll go for we'll go for rank, that is combined rank. So for combined rank, we have to consider the data which are in ascending order. So here I given rank for combined rank. For that I will show you that working note. So here look from largest to lowest highest we have to consider. First positional data is 150. So there are no 150 even in employed category and unemployed category, only we have 150. So I have given first rank to that, and second one 200. So here we have 200, and here we have one more 200. So for that this 200 in unemployed category is second positional data, and this 200 in employed category is third positional data. So 2 plus 3 is 5. Since we have added 2 observation, we'll divide it by 2. So 5 by 2, 2.5. So here I have given 2.5. Here also I have given 2.5. So now I will consider next value. So next value is first, second, third positional values are covered, and next position value is 250. There are no other 250. So I will give fourth category to this, and next value is 250, 275. There are no other values that are tying with the 275. So I will give to a fifth rank. And there is one more thing that 350. There are no other values that are going to tie with 350. So I will give sixth rank. So after that, observe here next 500. Before that we have 450. Before that 450. So 500 is greater than 450. So for 450 I will give 7th rank. After that consider 500 here, and here also we have 2 500, which means we have 3 500 in this case. So which means there is a tie between the values. So before 500 we have given rank 7, which means 7th position. So next 500 is 8th position. This is in 8th position, and this 500 is in 9th position, and this 500 is 10th position. So add 8, 9, 10, we got 27. Since we are added 3 observation, we'll divide it by 3. 27 by 3 is 9. So 9, rank is 9. Here also 9 and here also 9. So that we have assigned a rank to this. And let us consider next position. Since we have considered 8th, 9th, 10th. So next position is 550 and there are no values for unemployed data. So here we have 550. 550 is 11th position. I have given 11th rank, and since there is only one value, and next value is 600, that is also only one value. So I will assign 12th rank, and next one is 700. I will assign 13th rank, and next value is 1000. We have two values for 1000. So 1000 is 14th position. Since last rank given to the value is 13, so this is 14th value, and this 1000 is 15th value. So I added 14 and 15, which is 29 divided by 2, which is 14.5. So given rank as 14.5, 14.5. So this is how we have given combined rank. After giving a combined rank, we have to sum up the ranks. So the unemployed combined rank sum is 27, and here I have not given any rank that is I am not going to sum here, because n1 is smaller than n2. So in such cases we have to in case of unequal sample sizes, when your sample sizes are unequal, consider the smallest sample size sum. So here, since n1 is 6, in unemployed category we have 6 observation is smaller than n2. In unemployed category we have 9 observation. So n2 is 9. So we take sum of the ranks assigned to the sample unemployed students. So thus rank is S is 27.5. So one more thing you have to clear here. Compare with n1 and n2, which value is lower, consider that value for S. So here that number of observation in n1 is 6. 6 means here we have 6 observation. In n2 we have 9 observation. So 6 observations are lesser than 9 observation. So we'll consider n1 summed data. So after this we can go for testing statistics. So this is a problem we have considered. Now we'll apply to this problem, that is n1. Since n1 is lower here, I will consider that. So here S is 27. We found that n1 is 6 observation. Here we have 6 observation, and n1 plus 1 divided by 2. 2 means we are dealing with 2 population. So when I applied that into the formula, so 27, S is 27 here. Sum of the small sample 27.5. N1 is 6, and here also 6, plus 1 divided by 2. So 6 plus 1, 7. 6 into 7, 42 divided by 2, 21. That is equal to 21. 21 minus 27.5 minus 21 will be 6.5. So 6.5 is the tested statistics of U. So next, fourth step is to obtain critical value. So to decide about the null hypothesis, to take decision about null hypothesis, the calculated value of test statistics U is compared with the lower critical value at 1% level of significance. Because why I am considering lower critical value means which is a left-tiled test, that is why I am considering lower critical value. See, since test is left-tiled, so lower critical value of test statistics were left-tiled, corresponding to n1 is equal to 6 and n2 is equal to 9 at 1% level of significance is, so 1% level of significance is given in the problem is 29. So lower critical value is 29. I will show you how I have obtained this value using a formula. So here you can see that, so you can see lower critical value. Very importantly, you have to consider lower critical value only for left tiled test. If it is a two tiled test, we have to consider both lower critical value and upper critical value. If it is a right tiled test only, we have to consider upper critical value. So in this problem, our N1 we have to compare N1 and N2. So N1 in this case is 6, N2 is 9 at 1% level of significance. 1% means 1 by 100. 1 by 100 something we will get that 0.01. So let us see then critical value of this, lower critical value of this. N1 is 6 as I told you, and N2 is 9. This is N2. N2 is 9, and our critical value is 0.01, 1% level of significance. This is 0.01. So our interested value is 29. So you may have understand again, N1, this is a N1 and this is N2. So our N1 is 6 and N2 is 9. So N1 in the N1 6 and N2 9 at 1% level of significance, our critical value is 29. So critical value, we obtained a critical value. I told you how we taken a decision here, comparing with the critical value and tested value. So this is a critical value 29. Now let us take a decision. So since calculated value of test statistics U is 6.5, so our tested value, you know that our tested value is 6.5. Here tested value is 6.5 and critical value is 29. So E is lesser than the lower critical value 29. So we reject the null hypothesis. Since our tested value is less than the critical value, we have to reject the null hypothesis and support that alternative hypothesis, that we support the claim at 1% level of significance. So which means we conclude that the samples fail to provide us sufficient evidence against the claim. What is our claim? Mu1 is lesser than mu2, which means assume that a median amount to be spent on birthday gift by students who are employed is lower than for students who are unemployed is lower than students who are employed. So that fails to give that sufficient evidence. So here you may see the decision rule for left tiled test. So when null hypothesis and alternative hypothesis, here null hypothesis is mu1 greater than or equal to mu2 and alternative hypothesis is mu1 lesser than or equal to lesser than mu2. This is our case. So here our tested U value is lesser than or equal to that calculated table value. So here in our tested value is 6.5, which is lesser than U table value. U table value is 29. So our tabulated value is 29. So we rejected this hypothesis. If it in case U tested value is greater than U table value, then we would have accepted this null hypothesis. So in this case, there is no sufficient evidence for the claim to accept the null hypothesis. So thank you so much for watching this video. So now you can have one more problem to solve. So this is a one more problem. You can see that problem, the similar problem for unequal sample size kind of problem. You can solve this problem at 5% level of significance. So this is my reference source. Thank you so much for watching. Please do subscribe to my Vision Academy YouTube channel.